Hey everyone. Hey, it's Paul Kingsbury, Chairman for the U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officers Association, and welcome to our first live stream, our first update. I thought it was important to get on, just share some live updates with you. I know it's either morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're watching across the globe. And I expect many of you will see this after we've recorded, since we're brand new and building out. But the intent of this is just give you updates on where we're going with this thing, rehash some things, answer your questions, highlight some things, give some shout outs. And we'll do this as we go. I kind of built this off the model when I was on active duty. I used to do, towards the end of my tour as the Fleet Master Chief, I was doing these things called Friday with Fleet. And over time, they got some pretty good responsiveness and feedback. So I'm using that model. We're carrying it forward in a new venue. But welcome. Before we get into going into some content and discussion, I want to give some shout outs. And highlight some things that are going on around the Navy and things we're interested in. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to our board members. So we are moving forward on the big thing. I know many of these people personally, or I've reached through. Mike might know them personally, and as you can see, I'm joined by Mike Little. He's our treasurer right now, and he's helping definitely run the business side. Couldn't do this thing without him. So Mike is on our board, like retired ABH2 and an honorary Coast Guard chief and a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer, lives in Pennsylvania now. We've got ABCM retired Dennis Yanis. We got Master Chief Samira McBride, who just took over as the CMC up there at the CMC Leadership School. Command Senior Chief Tom Walsh, he's representing reserves. We got retired Command Master Chief Glenn Milo. Him and I served together as nukes, and he's a great buddy, and he's going to be representing us here in the Mid-Atlantic region. We got GMC retired Jamie Canones. I met Jamie down at the Southeast region CPO Pride Day. There's some work we did together, and he's doing great work down there. And that was a great event, and I'll touch on that a little bit as we talk about welcoming new chiefs. We got CMC Chad Lunsford, Dr. Chad Lunsford, and he's going to represent Southwest region for us. So welcome, Chad, to the board. Retired Fleet Master Chief Chris Addington. Chris and I served many in areas together. We were out in 7th Fleet together, and then served as Fleet Master Chiefs together when he was a COCOM senior enlisted leader for European Command. So it's great to have Chris on the board, and he's representing the Pacific Northwest. And then finally, Master Chief Jessica Morales, another reserve representative we've got. And we are actively looking, I'm interviewing now to fill that Hawaii slot, and we're going to go forward. So I feel we've got a great leadership team together. They've been great. They've been responsive. They've been helping us build out early. And I look forward to working with that group. But I at least want to introduce you to them. You can get on our website and you can check them out. They have bios each on there so you can see their backgrounds. But when we put the board together, we wanted really some warfare area diversity. I know we can't cover them all. There's too many warfare areas, but to the extent we could, we tried to package that in. And then also we wanted some geographical diversity to help us connect into the local, at least regional chiefs messes in that area. So you'll see there's no Japan, there's no Europe and things like that. We'll eventually get some people who can come in and help us do that, but I didn't want the board to get too big as well. So that's where we're at right now. So congrats and welcome to our board members, and please learn. They're meant to represent you, and I look forward to working with that team. All right, number 2. It's been probably over a month now. I went to this, but congratulations to our new MCPON, John Perryman. John's a good buddy of mine. I worked with him while I was on active duty. And congratulations to Jim Honey on a great career and retirement. And good luck to him as he embraces this new opportunity in the civilian sector. I've already talked to him a couple times, and him and Evelyn are doing great things. So just wanted to give that shout out. I know John's on the road already doing great things, but looking forward to working and collaborating with his office to the extent we can to help champion his lines of effort and his priorities as well. So congratulations again, JP. We're proud of you. Shout out to Command Master Chief Lowell Waddle. So Lowell was selected as this year's Del Black Leadership Award winner. And if you're not familiar with that, that is an award that's presented to a first tour, either Command Master Chief, Command Senior Chief, or Chief of the Boat, for upholding the values of Del Black, who was our first Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. He's serving as the Command Master Chief at a electronic attack squadron. And I look forward to meeting him in early December, December 2nd at the Navy Memorial, who will host the Del Black Leadership Award dinner. So congratulations again. And just want to raise some awareness of that award. And that's one of the things we'll strive to do, is raise awareness of where we're seeing performance in community, and not just active duty, but retired side as well. And then highlight and kind of raise awareness of all those people that are performing and the award opportunities that are out there. And then finally, again, I know we're September, October, and we're several months removed now, but congratulations to all the new Chief Petty Officers that are out there. Obviously, we didn't launch until, the last week, but this is something we would have definitely been highlighting and involved with. But, that's obviously a huge piece for the Navy Chief Mess community, getting through initiation. But kudos to all the Chiefs Messes around the Navy as well. I personally see that the process we do now is great. I think it's added great value. I think it takes traditional stuff, it stitches it into the modern Navy. And I think what we're doing is great. I had the opportunity, like I mentioned, to participate in the Southeast Region CPO Pride Day. The work I do with Blue Cross Blue Shield, we were able to send teams out and do some sponsorship behind the Southwest, the San Diego area Pride Day, and then also the Run with the Chiefs in Norfolk. So I know those are 3 huge events that are happening out there, and we'll look to elevate those and champion those. But I know there are other things going on all around the country and the world during that initiation season. But I just want to give a shout out to those new Chiefs. That first year, initiation just gets you kind of in the door, hopefully gets you comfortable with your new peer group and the mess. But the learning continues and the growth continues as you go on. So good luck as you roll into your new roles. All right. So first update, we are launched, right? And if you had the opportunity to look at my, kind of breakout video or a launch video, hopefully I gave you some background on the kind of why. I know it was rather short, but again, this is something that, I've thought about for a while. I've been inspired about just in my work with Blue Cross Blue Shield, doing community relations and just seeing what these different organizations are doing around the country. And that's not just the active duty organizations, right? There are spouse organizations that are doing great work on behalf of our military spouses. And I've been inspired by ladies like Bessa Pinchatti, Lisa Hallett, and others that are doing great work. And then, I had the opportunity to do some work with the Coast Guard Chief Petty Officers Association and Enlisted Association. I got exposure to the Air Force Sergeants Association. And I just saw how these venues are bringing together large groups of active duty and retirees together. And I just was like, why not do this, right? I think it's long overdue for the Navy Chiefs Mess. And I think it's important. I think we do a great job at the unit level with our Chiefs Messes and on the bases and maybe coming together with some regional events. But I think there's things we can do at the national level to really elevate the awareness of the Navy Chiefs Mess, to elevate the voice of the Chiefs Mess, to give back to our active duty and retired community, and to also connect them together. So I look forward to working on those lines of efforts. As I mentioned in my launch video, we're flying and building this thing. It's like we're in pre-commissioning, right? We're ready to do, actually, I think we're into sea trials at this point. So we've got some fuel in the tanks. The ship is built, it's crewed, and we're moving out. But we got to do some testing and we're going to do some adjusting, right? And the departments we're building, and Mike's going to talk a little bit about that and how we're going to bring and build committees on to take on some of the challenges in the line of efforts we're hoping to move forward and make an impact on. So thanks again to all the supportive comments we've received, all the comments on Facebook, and just the sharing of the content and info. I'm excited, but this isn't like just me and the board of directors. This is your National Chief Petty Officers Association. I've got experience. The board has experience in this area, and we have a vision for where it could go. But I'm telling you, I'm really excited when we start to get these committees together. We start connecting to the fleet, start connecting to the active or to the retired and reserve community, and you guys start bringing the ideas. This thing's going to take off on some really cool things that we haven't even thought about yet. So looking forward to that. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Mike now to give some business updates and some updates on things he's been working. So Mike, first of all, thanks to the great work you've been doing. Absolutely couldn't do this without you. And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to be a partner with you in this huge undertaking, but very rewarding effort. So over to you.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, no, thank you. Because I remember having these conversations with you like for the last several years since we've been, meeting up in DC, and obviously, like, there's always been a passion there for us to like see our Navy family like grow in the same sort of way as what we've watched our brothers in the Coast Guard deal with in the Air Force. And, I think it's really like that model of the Coast Guard Chief Petty Officers Association, and where I currently work at the Warrant Officer Association, that we realize that, the Navy's kind of missing out on an opportunity here. And, as we've kind of interacted in the messes since you've left active duty, and with my interaction through different organizations, like, it became clear that we just have so many tribalizations of our communities out there, and they're all doing such great work, but they lack the resources to be able to like run an administrative side, or to put together like a solid like nationwide outreach. They're doing good locally, but really their impact could be further than that if they just had like a little bit of knowledge base of how to run a nonprofit, how to put together fundraising campaigns, how to really nationalize something. We're talking about growing this thing and being for chiefs, by chiefs, and of chiefs. We just got with Senior Chief George Ramirez, who's going to be our putting together our first dinner in Norfolk. And in talking with him about what we wanted out of that dinner, we said we want it to be mess night, dining out style, but we also want it to be kind of like Emmy type of thing. And so he started talking about the goat locker and the Hall of Fame that they got going on out there. And I know everybody's seen those really cool like sport jackets that the Chiefs wear in Norfolk, but what I think a lot of people don't realize is there's another arm of that they want to do to help transition chiefs into the civilian sector upon their retirement. And I think they're trying to find a way to globalize and do that on a national scale. And what better way than for our organization that we're kind of like coming in to do, to help them really be able to take that and push it to a whole nother level. So, we're going to give them like time on the floor to talk about that. We're going to bring in other organizations in that area to kind of do the same thing. We're building out committees, and I want to thank everybody so far who's been volunteering for that. We've got a whole slew of people that have volunteered to be committees. We're scrolling through the list, and we're trying to put people where we think that they would fit good. And, I want to highlight one of those individuals right now because, ISCS Alicia Cleveland, who's out in the San Diego, had an opportunity to spend about 30 minutes on the phone with her today. She joined immediately, right? And I think one of the first emails that we got was from her, and it was like, how can I do more? I just paid you my dues. How can I do more? And as I looked at her, at her application, she's got so much experience working with other nonprofits, and she's been involved in the community aspect of things. She's a very proficient writer. And so we're going to make her the chairman of our community engagement committee. And she's going to help build out that community engagement piece. But it's people like her that this is her organization. This is your organization. This is our organization. And like Paul said, like Paul and I are trying to like put together the nuts and bolts and make sure that this ship is, steady and moving forward. But we need you guys to come and help navigate it, right? And so that's what people like Senior Chief Cleveland is going to do to help us. I've got 8 other individuals that have identified for board position, or I'm sorry, committee positions. And so be watching for a call from me if you put your name on the list to want to be a committee chair, because we're doing our due diligence to make sure we're interviewing the right candidates and putting people where we need to be, because that's how this thing becomes successful. It's not just successful because we have Paul and we have Toby Ruiz and name a famous chief out there. We become effective because of the involvement of the community. We have we have chiefs that are all over the Navy that want to be a part of this thing, and you help us define what that looks like. So I want to dive in a little bit on what membership looks like right now. So we just launched last week, and we're using a program. Oh man, and of course, like it jumps right off of my screen as soon as I do that. Sorry about that. Man. Well, we lost it. So like anything, we'll just have we'll have a brief moment here where I fumble around, and then we tell you that we'll fix this for next time. Sorry about that, Paul. All right, sorry about that. A little delay. Paul, fix that for the next time. So we're currently looking at a membership of 227 members. We brought in a total of $8,081.27 so far off of membership, and so we just kind of want to touch on where that money is going to go right now. So, like everything, it takes finances to run an organization. So what we're looking at as far as finances go at this point. We have to file our IRS application to receive our 501c19. That application costs $650. We also have to file with the state of Pennsylvania to have to operate a nonprofit in the state and to get our certificate of good standing with the state Secretary of State's office. So that costs about $350. We filed the trademark agreement for our logo to basically prevent anyone from taking our logo and using it on paraphernalia that we may not necessarily want it on. Also preventing anybody from taking our logo at the same time. So all of those things were filed for in the last 48 hours since we started receiving in our finances. The other thing that that this money is going to go towards right now is buying that swag. So whenever you went to join the association, you will have seen that with it comes swag of some sort, and so you'll be able to start seeing those things are coming around to you. Hopefully, like by like the middle of December. So that's going to include your custom challenge coin, your lapel pin. And then plank owner certificates are going to be held off on a little bit. We're ordering them through Tiffany's Certificate Company out of Norfolk. They're one of the original companies for doing the plank owner certificates, shellback certificates, blue nose, things like that. So because we're having those printed professionally, we'll probably do 2 batches of those. So we'll do 1 batch in about 6 months. And so we'll provide you with your certificates at that point. And then we'll do the other batch on December 31st, 2026, whenever we close up the membership. So that's where your finances are going right now. And you'll see a better breakdown of that after our board meets for the first time. And our treasurer, who Dennis Yanez, is able to actually put together an actual finance report for you. But full transparency, we just want you to know what we're looking at on our end as we're doing these things. The next thing I want to cover on is membership. We can't do this without members. Whenever we're talking about advocacy and talking with the MCPON's office and things like that, those are the first questions that Paul's going to get asked. What's your membership look like? They want to know, do the Chiefs believe enough in it to join, to put their voices behind it, to make it a voice? And so we're doing great, 200 plus members in a week. That's awesome. So the only thing we can do is continue to go up from there. I think as we start to launch more products, we'll see more members come in, but we're looking at everyone who joins between now and December 31st of this year will be charter members. And a charter member will be a person who joins the association in our establishing time whenever January 1st rolls around and we set that official date that we are an association. By that point, we'll have our IRS letter, we'll have our state approval letter, we'll have our trademark agreement. Then at that point, like, there will be no questions asked. We are an association. So January 1, 2026 is when that happens. So everyone who joins between now and December 31st, your name will be etched in the back of our bylaws for all time. You'll be charter members of this organization. You'll also be plank owners. And that's everyone who joins from our launch date last Friday all the way until December 31st, 2026. So 2 different types of categories there. Everybody who joins by December 31st, 2025 will become charter members / plank owners. And then everybody who joins between now and December 31st will become plank owners. They will not be on the charter. And so we'll close that off. So as of right now, we have the 200 plus that'll be doing that. We've decided through the graciousness of Paul and myself, we're going to be donating a couple of book sets for everybody who joins. So every time we reach 100 new members, we are going to auction off a set of the Blue Jackets Manual, the Petty Officer's Guide, and the Chief's Petty Officer's Guide that Paul has agreed to donate to our cause here. If anyone else wants to donate to that to help us grow our membership, we would be happy to accept something on your behalf, and we could add your book to the mix. So without further ado, we do want to do that first raffle. I am going to have to reopen that. So give me 1 second. Paul, if you want to jump in while I open the raffle, Will, that'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a good opportunity. I want to talk about why with organizations like this. So I think we can go back, like if I went back to my time as chief petty officer, right? Like we all got initiated into our mess. And there's a variety of models, right? Typically there's a chief's mess. That's the physical location, right? That's where you eat, you come together. It may be the place, very few of those left on base, right? That's the physical location where chiefs can gather. Then you have associations, which is the kind of organizational piece, right? That's where you come together under bylaws, you pay membership dues, you get the swag, you get the t-shirt, you do whatever you guys want to do at the unit level. So again, we do that really good at the unit level. Some of those extend onto the bases. There are some regional versions out there, and we're going to try to connect with those. But again, I don't think we get a good focus until we're bigger chiefs or more experienced, or get access to see what these bigger organizations are about. So my first exposure was with the Surface Navy Association. And I think I was a nuke. And honestly, Glenn Mallow, one of our board members, and I went up to the Surface Navy Association event up there in DC. I didn't even know what was going on, right? I knew there were some panels going on, but to me, the whole draw was the exhibit floor and walking around and getting some swag to give my kids and stuff like that. So that was my first exposure. And then as I got towards the end of my career and I started writing, as many of you know, and I joined the U.S. Naval Institute, then I really started to learn more about, okay, what are these organizations doing? And then when I retired, I joined the Naval Institute. I started doing outreach for them and got in the conference exhibit space and sponsorship space. And then with Blue Cross Blue Shield, I started meeting these partnerships, and I started to really realize, and honestly, when I met Mike, just intellectually understanding, why do we have these associations, right? Because Mike was heavy into legislative work and lobbying and dialed into that stuff. But here's what they're really about, right? When you join any of these organizations, and I encourage you not just to go to one, right? Join many. You're typically going to see there's going to be an advocacy line of effort. So many are advocating to Congress. Some are congressionally charted. Some are on the military coalition. Some are testifying in front of Congress to protect pay and benefits kind of stuff, right? But that advocacy doesn't just stop there, right? You could be helping advocate for, service policy and kind of quality of life and quality of work issues. So that's what I learned at the Naval Institute, right? Through writing, you can put forth perspectives in Proceedings magazine or blogs about specific challenges in your warfare community, how to improve things, right? So there's that advocacy kind of piece, line of effort that they all do. And we'll have that as Mike is highlighting, and we'll grow that out with a legislative committee. The second thing you're going to see is going to be some kind of professional development. So they have a variety of things. So through some of these organizations, they usually all host some kind of professional development conference. That's a longer term goal for us, and we will get there. But some offer discounts on books and podcasts, and some offer discounts on tuition and certifications, right? And some offer digital content for their members, right? And connection to people and leaders and things like that. That is a line of effort we're going to have, and we're going to develop too with a professional development committee. And the third common thing they all have is this kind of sense of staying connected to your tribe and your community. When I retired, right, when we all retire, right, we read the Chief Petty Officer's Retirement Creed, and it says we're always on the rolls, and we're there, right? But I just sensed, and my experience has been, we're not as connected with active duty chiefs and retired chiefs and reserve chiefs as we could be. So I think through fellowship and events, or at least we can't host them all. We're going to host some and some big events, but through highlighting and champion certain events, or maybe having a month where we recognize and appreciate our Chief Petty Officer retiree group, I think we can really pull that connection together. I definitely know the retired community has a lot to offer, not just their opinions about how we're doing things now, but we're the people out here, right? We transition, we're running businesses, we're in the space, we know how to transition. We've got VA, we've got, people that are VSOs now. We are in a position to really help the active duty Chief Petty Officer, not just transition, but to help you on active duty. So, and then obviously there's also the stuff you're going to get, right? So yeah, you're going to get the swag, and you're going to get the member discounts as we broker those kind of relationships with sponsors. But really take time to think about your membership does a lot of different things, and the organization is positioning itself and set up to help achieve those different lines of effort. So hopefully there's a little something for everyone. I think there's going to be some great work. We've got retired chiefs that are out there, right, as NJROTC instructors, and that program needs help and support. We got people dialed in with the Sea Cadets, right? They have a Chief Petty Officers program. So there's a lot of cool stuff we're going to be able to do. So please take some time. This is just, to understand the value and what we're actually trying to offer to every different, not just community, but every stakeholder within the Chief Petty Officer community is going to have a slightly different need. But I think as we move forward, we're going to be able to meet those all. So over to you, Mike.
Yeah, it's good, man. So, we just really want to help those smaller organizations, like kind of be able to, make that voice a lot louder. You were talking about, we can't host every event, but if you got 5 or 6 chief groups that are kind of doing something that's, in our wheel line, like, let's come together and we can help you put together those events and host it with you and for you. And then, 3 or 4 of your chief groups, you guys can come together and really make something successful. So it's good stuff that we're working on. I'm really excited to be a part of this. And it's really coming together, and it's coming together quickly. So I'm excited. So Paul, let's give away some books.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we're going to make sure. So as of 12 o'clock today, everybody that is a member of the association is here. So we're just going to hit the shuffle button a few times. So 206 individuals right now. Some people joined after lunch. I apologize. So there we go. So we got a nice shuffle board there. We'll hide this out. And then, Paul, here we go.
All right. I love that list. It's been great to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while and see their names come up as members. And those books that we give, I'll be signing each one of those.
Awesome. Let's see. Here it comes. Here's first name. We're going to give it away to Clayton Adams, number 123.
All right. Congratulations, Clayton.
And then we will remove him, make this fair. So we've removed Clayton, and here we go for book group number 2. So exciting. It's like the anticipation.
Imagine if casinos did that on the roulette wheel. Every time it hit, they just remove a number. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. We won't talk about gambling on this podcast. Hey,
All
Mike
right. Hey,
McNett, number 256. That's
all
great.
right. Congratulations, guys. Again, I've got those in order. They'll be in soon. I'll get those signed out and we'll get them sent out to you. So once you receive those, please post, let us know you've gotten them. And let's get to our 300th member. Yes.
Yeah,
And let's do it again.
that's gonna be awesome. And hopefully that's next Friday when we do this again, right? So
Absolutely. All right.
So,
And then
uh,
to the point, can you talk a little bit about the member feedback forms you sent out, like how people can give us feedback?
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm glad you asked. So there's a few different ways that that members can give us feedback, and we're addressing those as we get them right. So whenever you go into your membership profile, you'll actually be able to see there's like a contact us page right here. So if you fill that out, feel free to send that to us. It comes directly to me and Paul. We both get those, and then we try to answer the questions as quick as they come up. Additionally, once you're kind of in, once you get into the membership, you're going to get a survey about 24 hours after, or a couple days, maybe a day or two after you join the association, and you're going to get this form. And basically, it's going to be your member interest survey. Fill it out and let us know. Let us know what you want to be involved with, and then we take that information and we're going to help kind of form our committees with that. But once you do pose a question, we're answering them in real time, and so we have those questions on our website here. So you'll see that we've already addressed a couple. So Paul, do you want to touch on a couple of these real quick?
Yeah, sure. So this one came in the comments on one of the posts, right? So yes, the National Cheese Mess did establish a Double D Black National Cheese Mess. It's up at the Naval Memorial. I don't know if you've had a chance to visit. I know they host cheese messes definitely during initiation. Naval Memorial does a lot of great work, particularly on behalf of sailors and highlighting history and heritage. But they have a lot of effort that's a little different than ours. They're definitely not going to be in the advocacy world. They're not going to do professional development and things like that, and they won't host a conference. But they do definitely heavily highlight the history and heritage of the cheese mess, right? And that display that's up there definitely highlights that, right? It highlights Del Black. It highlights Chief Petty Officer, what we're about, and things like that. I know they've got videos on the MCPONs, right? And the legacy of the MCPONs. So it's a little different mission set there. They do have the opportunity to, join their National Cheese Mess, right? I've got one of those as well, like on the back. I don't know if you can see it. It's up there in a case. I'm a plank owner of their National Cheese Mess. I definitely support it. But that money goes directly to the Naval Memorial and their program specifically. So those are the differences. And again, yeah, and we'll be up there like at the Del Black leadership award dinner. So, and we will emphasize and we'll post and keep you informed of the things that are going on up there.
Yep. All right. So there was a question about, paying dues and like, how come you're paying dues now and then you're going to get charged again on April 1st. So that's got to do with the way that our finances are going to be done. So in this the first time you join, your $35 will basically go out to March 31st. So if you join today, you're paying for today until March 31st. That money is really going to help us with startup costs, right? Consider it like our venture capitalist type of investment. We're asking you to help us to fund this thing, to build this thing, to make it better. And then there's other things that are happening behind the scenes, such as working on corporate sponsorship with different companies and identifying organizations and companies that could come in and help us financially. So we're working on that. But right now you're joining and you're really helping us build an infrastructure that can't fail. So by you investing in that, yes, your dues are going to be due again on April 1st, and then they'll be due on April 1st every year following that. So unfortunately, it's just the way our filing is going to go with the IRS, and it'll make bookkeeping so much easier for all of us. And, just like any other chief, I'm an aviation bosun mate. finances are not my forte. So I liked it better if we could just do that. So appreciate everyone who has asked that question. Not a single one of you has been upset about it once we answered the question to you. So we put it up here so you would see, but dues will be due on April 1st. They'll end on March 31st. And if you have any other questions about it, feel free to let us know. When will you receive your membership items? Those items are going to start coming to you once we get them. So this morning I made the order for the first 500 challenge coins. And so those will be, they'll be made. I'll probably receive them in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And as soon as we receive those, we'll start mailing them out as soon as they get in. Those will come at the same time as the lapel pins. So you'll get your lapel pin and your challenge coin right away. We still have the artist rendering coming in. So we changed our logo since the last time they did the artist rendering. So once we get that, we will upload what the challenge coins look like. But they look pretty cool. Paul and I had a lot to do with getting those designed, and I think that you're gonna like them. So I'm looking forward to you guys seeing those. And then again, like I said, we're probably gonna do 2 batches of the plank owner certificates. The first batch we'll do we'll do 3 batches. So in January we'll do a batch for everybody who became a charter plank owner, and so those will be the guys that joined before December 31st. Then we'll do one in June. So if you join between January 1st and June, you'll get your plank owner certificate in July. And then again, if you join between July and December 31st of next year, you'll get them in January of 2027. So, but those are coming professionally made from Tiffany's, designed for us with our input. And I've already seen some of the artist rendering. They look really great. So just think about your plank owner certificate or whatever else you got. And that's kind of what they're going to look like with a very heavily influenced chief petty officer backing to it. So, and then we've kind of covered this a few times, but how can you get more involved with the CPOA? Click that link right there. It'll take you to the survey, fill it out. And I'm trying to get back with everybody who's volunteering as soon as possible. I think we'll have our committees set in the next, by Thanksgiving. So those are the main questions that have been coming in so far.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, we're going not too long, but yeah, we're almost at 40 minutes. So just want to close this out. So, hey, next milestones for me, as I'm thinking, obviously I'm going to continue to make calls. I'm going to socialize, pursue sponsorship, but the next thing is meeting with our board, right? And getting our board governance going. We got a lot of moving parts going on at once. I want to get them dialed up. I want to get them, they're the decision-making body, right? And so I want to get them involved and get them going. So once we have that meeting, I plan to do these and align these kind of live updates or monthly updates following the board meeting, right? And you can expect that as we build the committees, we'll invite committee chairs to come in and give updates. We meant to stream this live, by the way. I want to make that point. But when we went to go live, right, Mike, it said you got to be. We have enough members on our Facebook page.
We haven't been on the organization long enough.
Yeah, you need to be an organization for 60 days. So bad on us. Apologies on that. But I think we got 400, 500, 600 Facebook member or followers now. So we met that threshold. We just got to wait 60 days and we'll come up live. So we're going to record these until that point. But you'll see we're going to come up live. We're going to try to do our best to do it at a time that most people can join. I don't think, knowing we're worldwide, we're going to do that all the time. But look out for those next updates. We'll post them when they come out. We'll be working on a newsletter, right? So I'll start developing some newsletter content to push out links and information on that forum. And then finally, here's what you can do, right? Here's my call to action for you guys, whether you're a member or not, you just want to support. Number one, learn more. The website's been scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Check it out. Learn more about what we're trying to do. You can see in the legislative space, I've already signed out several letters, right? So we're trying to get things going. We're trying to do things as we go, but we're going to get better as we go. And
Paul, can I jump on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I want to take it even further on the, if you join or not, this is the Chief Petty Officers Association, right? Whether you're a member or not, we are still going to represent every Chief Petty Officer at the MCPON office at Capitol Hill. So even if you're not a member, reach out to us. Tell us why you don't want to become a member. Tell us what we could be doing to make you want to become a member, right? Because that's the only way we can change whatever it is that's making you not want to join. Maybe you're not a joiner. Maybe you're a part of too many other organizations. Maybe you think you're going to fail, right? Like, there's a lot of reasons why people don't join organizations, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear your voice. We're different. Like, Paul and I are different. Like, I know whenever we go somewhere together on events, we're the guys that want to go and like talk to the guys that are sitting off in the corner because they don't want to be at the event. They don't want to be at the dinner. And we want to know why. We want to know what can make it change. How could it be better? So challenge us. If you don't want to join, challenge us and tell us why you don't think you want to join. We had someone who commented on MCPON West's post the other day, like, seems great, good luck. But then the guy sent us an email, and Paul and I have been have been addressing it, right? So don't think you're gonna upset us by not joining or telling us that you think something should be different. Tell us. It's your organization, whether you want to be a member or not. We represent those chief petty officers that we say we represent that are in our logo. So I just wanted to make sure I highlighted that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So again, at the bottom of our pages, we got our social media pages, right? So Mike more than me, like, I definitely appreciate the social media space, LinkedIn, all those spaces. So we've got all the major channels covered. So if you want to follow those, you can click those links, but follow us. I think the handle's common for all of them. It's at USN CPOA.
USN CPOA.
Yep, we're putting out there. Help spread the word, right? So if you are involved and you like something, post about it, right? And if you see us doing this, tag those people you think are going to be interested. Help us spread the word. If you get that coin or that book set and you win, right? Like, hey, take a picture, share it. And then if you're a Cheese out there doing great stuff, right, share that with us. We want to champion what you're doing, right? So if you're a Cheese that's accomplished something, or you're doing great initiatives in your community, I know where to go for websites and learning about where all the big award winners are getting. So I think, again, raising up the community is part of what we're trying to do. Of course, like Mike said, join or donate. These are member organizations. Member donations are huge. We've explained that. Obviously, we're going to go after sponsorship too, right? But sponsorship a lot of times follows membership, right? Because they're going to want to see that they're going to want to communicate their products and things. We're not going to bring on any sponsors that don't have a win-win with us. So we're going to work that out in the next few months and beyond. And then your feedback and support are ongoing to make this successful. To Mike's point, like, hey, maybe you're waiting to watch and you want to see what we're doing. But I'm telling you, I think we're trying to do something that's been a long time coming. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. People, I think, want to see it succeed. I think some people are waiting back. But for a smaller investment, you can help us really get going on some things. Or if you can connect us to sponsors or connect us to ideas, we'll take all that stuff on board. So any last thoughts, Mike?
If you want Paul to come speak at an event for you, if you want any of our board members to come to something, like, shoot us a message. Mike at NavyChief.org, Paul at NavyChief.org. We'll make sure that, they're on our webpage. You can even go ask the chief at NavyChief.org, and someone will get back with you, and we'll make sure that you can get whatever it is you're looking for. But if you want someone to speak, please let us know. We're happy to try to figure that out. We can maybe try to find a way to get it funded somehow or another. But don't be afraid to ask if you want Paul to come talk to your Chiefs mess. Even if you want it to be like a Zoom call or something, just let us know, and join, because we're really trying to do something here. So let us know what we can do to help you do better.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I'm excited. I think we're going to do some great stuff together. I was a former nuke, right? I was an electrician's mate, right? And Mike will tell you, like, I was trying to dot the I's, cross the T's, right? I'm risk adverse, and I'm always thinking of the failure points. But all the feedback I came when I would say, like, this does have the potential to fail, was like, this won't fail, right? And my trust and faith is in the broader Chiefs community. We have a great model that works at the tactical level. We're connected worldwide, and I think we can connect in under a broader association and really do some really cool stuff that none of us has really thought. And we're going to really elevate the Chiefs community and the enlisted community as well. So Have a great weekend. Mike, thanks again for co-hosting us, and I'll see you guys again in the next update.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Thanks a lot, man. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon.